What's up, guys? So, Squab here. So, today, the video that I have for you guys is going to consist of some topics that happened in Connecticut. So, shit, my chair's making a lot of noise. So, last week, I think it was August 8th, we had a protest in my home state of Connecticut, down in Stamford, Connecticut, in Fairfield County, which is a little bit by New York City. So on August 8th, we ended up having a protest. So this protest was to march because of a man who went by the name of Stephen Barrier, who died on October 23rd, 2019, while he was in police custody. So they're having this march. Everything was going quite peacefully and was going quite well. And then the situation started to escalate. So it looks like the police were trying to get people to disperse, and they weren't dispersing as the police wanted them to, per se. And that's when about 6 arrests were made, and there was about 8 or 9 police officers who ended up getting injured, as well as some of the demonstrators. One of the police officers also had to go and get surgery. The people who were arrested were all in the Gen Z age range. They're all over 20s, earlier 20s, and they're all charged with second degree breach of peace and interfering with an officer resisting, um, which to me is kind of bogus because when you go out and protest, that's the whole thing that we're going out to protest is people are going out to protest the police and the actions that they've taken to become more authoritarian and just kind of be above the law, and rather than enforcing the law, they're thinking that they're above the law and they can do whatever they need in order to make the arrest, or even if it's not in a situation where there needs to be an arrest, where there's a peaceful protest going on, they, instead of de-escalating the situation or just letting the situation, eventually the march is going to end, the protest is going to end, they try and take action to their own hand because they don't believe the protest should be occurring in the first place. They make it so that it seems like it's a riot, an uprising, and they go ahead and escalate the situation. And the protesters and demonstrators aren't going to sit there and just allow this to happen. They're trying to voice their First Amendment right and the injustices that are going on in society and say, this is not what we want to happen. So they went out there and did that, and then the police acted in ways that they've been acting, as we've seen throughout this summer of 2020, how they've been acting, especially since George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all that stuff happened. They take matters in their own hand when they don't need to, and they do things that, quite frankly, I feel like goes against the First Amendment and is ridding people of their freedom of speech and their freedom of expression. So the man that they were protesting, actually, he had suffered a heart attack, and the autopsy indicated that the heart attack was the main cause, but the mother of the man believed that this couldn't be the case because he didn't have a history of cardiac problems, and that the police were really the main reason that this occurred. So the police chief in Stamford released a statement this Sunday, so about a couple days ago, and he said that the protesters acted in a proactive manner. So I don't see how other manner you're supposed to act when you're protesting something. When you're protesting something, you're being proactive. You're trying to get ahead of an issue, or you're trying to bring attention to an issue. So by the very definition of a protest, you are going to be proactive. So I don't understand exactly where they're how proactive is a negative in this situation, but that's what he used. And you'll said they disobeyed police instruction to disperse and reopen streets to vehicular traffic. So to me, that is saying that they were blocking the streets, and the police, like I said, they wanted them to disperse, and they weren't dispersing according to how the police wanted them to. Again, they're protesting, they're trying to bring change to a situation that's occurring, and they're protesting, they weren't hurting anyone. Okay, they were causing maybe some traffic to have to be delayed or go in different directions, but when it comes to situations that we're currently facing right now with police and their brutality, I'm completely fine with them being in a position where they're trying to go ahead and bring voice to the situation that's occurring. He said that there's many agitators, and they tried to lure the officers to engage throughout the march. I saw some videos. This was not the case. The police were the ones who were trying to get them to disperse. They veneered into their space, and that's when things broke out, and then arrests were made, people got injured, and it's an unfortunate situation that happened. The demonstrators said the officers were the aggressors and used excessive force on non-violent protesters as they were dispersing. I've seen some videos to corroborate the story of the protesters, and from my angle, it just appears that the police are not using, I don't know if they're being trained correctly. I don't think they are. In a manner where they're de-escalating the situation, and trying to make it so that there's a systemic way where they can go about making sure that everyone gets what they need and they can approach things without causing violence. And it seems like continually, time and time again, police are being the ones to escalate situations that need no escalation and causing things to happen. And when things like this happen, where violence breaks out, police are always going to be the ones. They have the weapons, they have the handcuffs, they have the police cars. They're going to be the ones who have the authority to go make the arrest. They're not going to arrest themselves if they're in the wrong. They're going to always assume the other people are in the wrong, and that's the situation that we're currently in with the police. That's why the defund police um, campaign has kind of started, because there needs to be systemic reform in the way that police handle situations, especially protest, and don't infringe on the First Amendment rights of U.S. citizens and their right to form an assembly and protest situations. That's how change gets done in the country, and I'm glad that my state, Connecticut, continues to have these protests and continues to bring awareness to these issues. And I hope that over time, these protests and these demonstrations are going to mean a lot for people in Connecticut and across America, to get the change that we rightfully deserve, so that it can be a better place for everyone involved, even the police, and that they are doing the things, they are being trained adequately to do the things that they need to be doing. Um, yeah, so that's all I have to say on this issue. Thanks for watching. Go out and protest. Go out and do the things you need to do, and let's continue this even throughout this election and throughout the next 5, 10 years. Let's just get the change that we need to get. Put the pressure on its legislators, and just go out, make your voice heard, and just do the things that we need to do to make this a better country for all. So thanks for watching. Drop a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.